Children's Hospital warns against children using e-scooters. Vancouver Island University is suing students who have staged an encampment on campus. Bissell steam cleaners being recalled because they have been burning people. At least 17 people are dead in protests in Bangladesh. And far-right Israeli minister makes provocative visit to the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Good morning. It's Friday, July 19th. I'm Nora. Here are your headlines. First, we start in Montreal. The Children's Hospital there is warning that e-scooters are causing more serious injuries than last year in children. Gloria Enriquez from Global News is reporting that there have been more injuries in the past 3 months than in all of last year. Most of the injuries are head injuries and broken bones. A lot of the kids who are getting injured are not wearing helmets. Kids in Quebec older than 14 are allowed to use an e-scooter as long as they wear a helmet and the scooter doesn't go faster than 25 kilometers per hour. That's younger and faster than what the European Transport Safety Council allows for, and frankly is pretty fast. So be careful out there if you're a kid or you have kids who are using e-scooters. Next to Nanaimo, where the administration at Vancouver Island University has sued pro-Palestinian activists. Now, the administration is calling this move regrettable, which I think we can probably assume is not actually true. It's not actually what they think, because if it was, they wouldn't do it. The decision was made because pro-Palestinian protesters have refused to leave the campus, which the university claims is in violation of a trespass notice that the university has given to the students. The university is seeking damages in court from the protesters. Nono Shen from the Canadian Press sums the protest demands up like this, which is just too classic for Canadian media. Quote, the protesters against the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza have been demanding that universities cut financial and academic ties with Israeli firms and institutions, among other things, unquote. Shen does not actually say where Vancouver Island University is on these demands, if they've considered them, if they've outright rejected them, or if they've just gone right away to suing the students who are, calling for Israel to stop killing people. I mean, it's not a very outrageous demand. And it's really the weakest way to describe a group of people who are using everything at their disposal to try and get Canada to withdraw its support for Israel's crimes against humanity. As a student, you don't have a ton of power, but you certainly are part of a university community. And demanding that university divest is kind of the most basic thing that you can demand. And it's too bad that the Canadian Press is not giving us the whole story there. Next, I've got a recall notice to tell you about. Do you have a Bissell steam cleaner? The ones that you can hold in your hand while steam cleaning. And I'll be honest, I actually don't even know why anyone would steam clean. I'm not a very good cleaner. So, this is very niche content. If you're someone that listens to us and you have a steam cleaner, pay attention. Well, Health Canada is recalling the Bissell steam cleaners that are handheld devices after more than 150 people have reported injuries from the device. The injuries have happened all over North America, and the recall covers 3.3 million steam cleaners. Most of the injuries have happened in the United States. The device leaks steaming water, which has caused burns, which seems bad. There are 8 models of the handheld steam cleaner that are being recalled, so check out Health Canada's website to see if any of them are currently in your house. You'll either get an $82 credit with Bissell or a $55 refund. Or if you injure yourself, maybe you can get in on a future class action lawsuit. It's risky, though. I don't think you should try to do that. Now to international news, and we start in Bangladesh, where armed police have killed at least 17 people as part of the protests that have been led by students. Al Jazeera described the students as having been, quote, armed with sticks and rocks, unquote, in Dhaka. You'll recall from an earlier episode of the Daily News that the protests are related to changes to hiring quotas in the civil service. During the protests, authorities have blocked cell phone service in most of Bangladesh, reports Al Jazeera. Some news websites also appear to be down, and internet providers shut down Facebook, which is the primary mode of organizing that's happening between the students. The deaths have happened at protests in Dhaka, Narayanganj, and Chattogram. And finally, one of the worst humans on the planet, Itamar Ben-Gvir, visited the Al-Aqsa Mosque in occupied East Jerusalem. I know it's hard to keep track of who in the government in Israel is worse than others, but Ben-Gvir is one of the absolute worst. He's far right, even compared to the rest of the group who are in charge of Israel right now. Al Jazeera is reporting that Ben-Gvir's visit was provocative and intended to make people angry. He went to go pray and pretended to care about the lives of the people who are being held hostage by Hamas. There are fears that Ben-Gvir's visit is an indication that Israel is going to try and take over the site. It's the third holiest place in the world for Muslims, but is also a holy place for Jews called the Temple Mount. In the past 24 hours, Israel has killed another 54 Palestinians, and 500 Palestinians have been killed in the past 10 days. In addition to Ben-Gvir's provocation, Benjamin Netanyahu has also recently visited Rafah, which was a surprise. Of course, Rafah is the southern city that is on the border with Egypt and where Israel has captured the border, closing it now for several months. And late last night, the Houthis claimed responsibility for a bombing in Tel Aviv that happened by drone. Reports say that 2 people were killed. Those are your headlines for Friday, July 19th. I'm Nora. Oh, it's Friday. Oh, I can't tell you. This week, I don't know what's up this week. I'm so tired. It's been a really busy week, even though I'm in the middle of the summer and I'm trying to take it easy. Just not possible. I hope your Friday is going really well as well and that you have a weekend on the horizon. You are listening to this podcast at sanynora.com, on the Real News Network podcast feed, and anywhere you get your podcasts. I will talk to you on the other side of this weekend as we crawl our way through the rest of July.